Now, a new YouGov poll released today has showed the no vote, of course, with a voice to Parliament, still winning 53 to 38. But when you look at the results by age, and it's often been talked about, this will come down to the demographics. It's the older voters, basically, that are holding the voice in their hands, because amongst the under 50s, the yes vote is winning. I think for under 25s, it's 58% support to 34% no. So it is very much got the support of younger people, but we still haven't seen that switch in demographic where, you know, the boomers are taken over by the Gen X, etc. Even with the support of young people, I cannot see how from a position of 58% opposition you get this thing over the line.
Sure. Caleb, what I see in those figures is I think that they reflect the education system and the brainwashing that's been taking place from kindergarten age right through to the universities. I was actually at a pre-polling station in Sydney yesterday afternoon, and a woman approached me to vote no and to tell me that at her school's kindergarten in Bondi, children were made to walk under an Aboriginal flag which was draped over the doorway at the entrance of the kindergarten, and they had to literally bob under it in a subservient manner. And then they had every day, and then they had to go through some sort of the phoney welcome to country ceremony, which was made up less than 3 decades ago. And I think that we are literally seeing in these young people, in the demographic that you just showed, the result of years and years of brainwashing. The older people, however, can read, they're more literate, and they actually understand what an immense change a yes vote would mean to our constitution.
Well, the long march through the institutions, right? It's worked.
Absolutely.
It's worked. And just while we're on the voice, the voice co-architect, Marsha Langton, just a couple of weeks ago, we know, said the reasons for voting no were basically able to be boiled down to racism or stupidity. Now she's put her foot in it again this week, because she and fellow co-architect of the voice, Tom Calma, have come out and said that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are experiencing high levels of racism because, quote unquote, the referendum process taps into a deep well of historical racism that originated on the Australian frontier when Indigenous peoples were violently dispossessed from their lands by the English. And then you have this clip today that's emerged of TV star Ray Martin. I showed a little bit of it before, at a Yes rally in Sydney, and he certainly didn't mince his words. Take a look.
If you don't know, find out what you don't know. What that asinine slogan is saying is, if you're a dinosaur, a dickhead, who can't be bothered reading, then vote no. The no vote organisers also keep asking Albo for the details. What about the details? At this stage of the game, the details simply don't matter.
You know, oh, dickheads, ha, ha, ha. I mean, every time they do this stuff, they just shoot themselves in the foot. Have they not worked out yet that abusing people is not going to change one solitary vote?
Well, let me say this, Caleb. I read the Yes campaign's literature when I was standing in the sun yesterday, and nowhere does it mention the second part of the deceptive question that voters are going to be asked to say yes or no to. Nowhere there does it talk about the representation to government. It only talks about the recognition in the Constitution, without mentioning the huge impact of what opening a new chapter in the Constitution based solely on race will mean to all Australians. This is not just a change in the Constitution to affect Indigenous Australians in terms of closing the gap. This alteration of the Constitution will affect every viewer, no matter what their heritage is. And what makes an absolute mockery of these claims about racism is the last census, which showed that of all people identifying as Indigenous in that 2021 census, 80.1% were in a partnership or a marriage with a non-Indigenous partner. Now, you tell me how racist Australians are when, or does this mean that Indigenous people like Marcia Langton and Tom Calmer, Noel Pearson, are all sleeping with the enemy?
Look, I don't think we are a racist country. I know a lot of people like to say we are, but I don't think we are. Piers Akerman, thank you for joining me tonight.